Good evening. Here's a couple notes from our class discussion. The first note is feelings and forgiveness. One of the class members said, "What does it mean when I think I've forgiven somebody, but when I think about what they did or when I see that person, I get upset again?" The answer is, of course, very individual. Only God knows the specifics for that person and if you need to forgive them again or not. But in general, the answer was, as we've discussed before, your choice to continue living in forgiveness for that person and your feelings can vary wildly because the feelings come and go and change while our decisions do not need to. So if you have forgiven someone but you still feel pain, that doesn't mean that you haven't chosen to live in forgiveness. While I was saying that, God gave me an example that I thought was truly meaningful, asked me to share it with everyone as a note from the class, which was the pain the Father, our God, and Jesus went through when he sacrificed himself will not be forgotten, but it does not indicate a lack of forgiveness. For God, it indicates such deep love for us to reunite us. In the same way, we can experience pain or hurt and still live in forgiveness for the person or people that caused the pain. If God in his perfection can live in forgiveness while experiencing pain, though a much lesser level, he's telling us that we can do the same thing and that something hurting doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't living in forgiveness. Class note number 2. Intercessory prayer and personal victories. One of the class members shared that she felt praying for someone about a particular issue was deeply important. She had it on her mind and made a point of praying for it intentionally every day. And one day, she heard God's answer, and what he said was, in essence, how can you be asking me to intercede for this person, for this situation, when you have a very similar situation that you have not chosen the victory on? You have given it permission to reside unresolved. At that point, she realized that even though she felt justified in whatever that situation was, that feeling of justification was preventing her from making it right with God, which was then preventing her from being able to intercede for the person that she wanted to pray for, at which point she immediately gave it up to God and then was able to intercede for the person that she had so much passion for helping. Because this is a very important concept. If you want to pray for someone to have victory for something specific and important to you, but you are refusing to have victory in that area because you think you're not ready yet, God will pause you and pause the intercession until you are ready. And once you are ready to receive victory and be victorious in that moment, then your experience with God, your intimacy with God in that specific area, you will be able to intercede for the person you were praying for at this point. The Bible verse that goes with that is Matthew 7:3-5. You look at a bit of sawdust in your friend's eye, but you pay no attention to the piece of wood in your own eye. How can you say to your friend, "Let me take a bit of sawdust out of your eye"? How can you say this while there's still a piece of wood in your own eye? Basically, it's saying, don't pretend you can help somebody with a problem the same as yours when you haven't taken care of your problem with God first. First, take care of your problem with God, and then you will see clearly to help someone else with the same problem, or an even smaller problem. These two important points came out of our conversation this evening when we were going over personalizing the Lord's Prayer, and God wanted me to make this short video to share it with everyone. Thank you for listening. We will continue later.